What up, peeps? Welcome back to the Bella Dennis podcast with your host, Bella Dennis. So it's been a while. I'm sorry. This is one of the reasons why. Because my mics haven't been working. Sorry if you heard that. I was fixing it. But so I got me a new mic. I'm getting back to YouTube. So real quick before I get started in today's episode, I am go. I see Jack. I hope y'all don't hear him growling. Um, I'm going to start probably doing an episode per month or every few weeks. So I can actually lock in. I do have an idea what the next episode's going to be. And there's going to be some special guests in the next episode. So I'm really excited. So, um, yeah, I'm really glad I'm starting to get back. So, if you are new here, my name is Bella, and this is a podcast for young Christians just like me. So, even if you're like a full grown adult, this can be for you too because Jesus is for everybody. So, before we get into today's topic, I'm going to tell you guys a little story. So, this past semester, I took a class that I had to student observe another teacher. And for those who do not know, I'm going to school to be a teacher, well, an elementary teacher. And why aren't this working? And I'm also called into the children's ministry. So when right before I started like having to go because we went like a few weeks after this class started, I was nervous because for those who do not know, I am a very much an overthinker and I have always doubted myself for things. So it was the first time me going, so obviously I was nervous. But then as I was leaving the first day, they said, "Bye, Miss Bella." And something just something in my heart, it just made my heart flutter, and it just kind of made me think that's why God put me here. And obviously before I went there, I had thoughts about, oh, they're not going to like me, I'm not going to be good at this. And that's when something told me that this was the enemy. So today we are going to be talking about fighting the enemy. Literally, the reason that this episode is late overdue and delayed is because I've been fighting the enemy myself, which is kind of funny because I was doing this episode of fighting the enemy while I was fighting the enemy. So yes, so let's get started with this episode. There's something that us Christians struggle with at times because we give into the enemy in specific things. For me, I was given a big heart and an overthinking mind, which has made me care so much about everything, which has made me worry about a lot of small, dumb things. You probably have seen this photo or selection of photos that are the same thing of the difference in between God's voice and Satan's voice. So here's one of the pictures now, and I'm going to read them off, even though God's voice steals you, leads you, assures you, enlightens you, encourages you, comforts you, calms you, and convinces you. while Satan's voice rushes you, pushes you, frightens you, confuses you, discourages you, worries you, obsesses you, and condemns you. So maybe realizing what this voice is trying to tell you can help separate if this is God's voice or the enemy's voice. Now, one of the verses that we are going to go into today, once again, I use the Christian Standard Bible version. So we're going to go to the book Ephesians 6:10 through 12. Okay. Finally, be strengthened by the Lord and by his vast strength. Put on the full armor of God so that you can stand against the schemes of the devil. For our struggles is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers of this darkness, against evil spiritual forces in the heavens. The battles we face aren't just physical or against other people, they're spiritual at their core. As believers, we are called to rely on God's strength, not our own, and to intentionally equip ourselves to his truth and protection. When we put on the full armor of God, we are able to stand firm against the enemy's schemes, recognizing that our real fight is against unseen forces of darkness. It's a call to stay spiritually alert, grounded in faith, and fully dependent on God in every challenge we face. Now, you may have heard me say the armor of God, but I will not be getting to that today. But I will tell you guys what the armor of God is. The armor of God is the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, shoes of peace, the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, aka the Bible. Now we are going to go to another verse. Go to 1 Peter 5:8 through 9. Be sober minded, be alert. Your adversity, the devil is prowling around like a roaring lion, looking for anyone who he can devour. Resist him firm in the faith, knowing that the same kind of sufferings are being experienced by your fellow believers throughout the world. As Christians, we have to stay spiritually aware and grounded in our faith because the enemy is constantly looking for ways to distract, discourage, and destroy us. Just like the devil is here to steal, kill, and destroy. Peter compares the devil to a roaring lion, showing how real spiritual warfare is. But he also reminds us that we are not powerless. We can resist the enemy by standing firm in our faith and remembering we are not alone in our struggles, which is something I really need to continue to remind myself because for those who this is going to be in a later episode. I've always felt like I've been lonely, mostly because I'm an only child, but as I said before, I'm going to get into this in another episode, but we're not alone. We're not alone. I'm going to say it again. We're not alone. Believers all around the world are facing battles too. Even in hardship, God calls us to remain alert, faithful, and confident in Him. Also, something to remember while fighting the enemy, we're not fighting it alone because God is with us always and forever. Like I said. So, if you are fighting the enemy right now or things are starting to get hard, remember to stand firm, put on the armor of God, speak the truth, and then we will finish and win the battle because God will give us peace in the end. So that is it for today's episode. Remember to hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and hit that notification bell so you won't ever miss an episode. And be looking at the Bella Dennis podcast Instagram account because I'm starting to do some shorts or some like small TikTok, Instagram reel, YouTube shorts of on this podcast channel. So I'm really excited for you guys to see what is up ahead. So, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.